I hope everyone is doing well. Today I'll be taking you along with me as I'm making a single page comic. But before that, I wanted to talk a bit about my comic journey so far, and especially the book that I've been using to learn how to make comic, which is this one. I talked a bit about it in some previous video, but basically I got this comic, which is named Making Comic by Scott McCloud. It is such an amazing book, and basically it comes with a bunch of different lessons about comic making and different things that one should know when making comic, the basic principles and other stuff. And what is super great about it is that it also comes with exercises that you can do alongside most of the lessons. And I think this is so nice, especially for people that are trying to learn on their own without classes or teachers, because then you're able to at least do exercises and try to practice the things that you've learned, even if you don't have a teacher that will be able to correct you. But I think it is already a really cool thing that I was only able to find in this book. So far, I'm still at the first chapter. More precisely, I am around here when the author is presenting the different types of transition. And so I am doing the related exercise, which is the third one, where you basically have to choose one of three prompts and make a single page comic, a rough single page comic using only one type of transition. And this is what I'm gonna be doing today. So the prompt that I chose is this one. The queen died and the king died of grief after her. And yeah, I'll be trying to make a single page comic out of it. Okay, this is actually my second time recording this because my mic was not working and now it's working again, thankfully. So hopefully the sound will be better. Okay, so what I wanted to say, the first thing is that I never thought I'd want to make comic in my life at all. Like if you had told me this 2 years ago, I wouldn't have believed you because, well, I grew up reading a lot of books and reading a lot of manga and comics. So I became accustomed with mangaka and the way they work and the insane amount of work they have. And also when I was younger, I also, I was on social media seeing people that were drawing around my age or older than me. And especially people that aspire to become mangaka themselves and make their own manga or comics. And the thing is, they were also dedicated to this. So it gave me the impression that if you ever wanted to make a comic or make a manga, it had to be the biggest project of your life. You had to be so passionate by it and dedicated to it. I didn't think it was something that could be done half-heartedly or like not that I think that some people are making comic half-heartedly, but more so that I thought you had to go 100% in. 99% was not good enough. Also, in my mind, it wasn't possible for someone to make comic just for fun, just like some people are making illustration, but they're not making it their full-time job. I didn't think it was a thing for comic as well or manga because all the people that I saw making comics or making manga were aspiring to make this their profession, and so they were going really hard about it. So yeah, I never imagined that it would be something I would be interested in, but I would say that the biggest thing that changed my opinion was the discovery of an artist on Instagram. I think it was maybe 1 to 2 years ago. It's quite a famous one. I don't know how I didn't discover her before. Her username is Little Thunder. She's a Chinese artist and she used to make comic in the past. She's not making comics full time anymore, but she used to, and it honestly surprised me a lot because when I first discovered her account, I was already quite impressed by just the amount of drawing and illustration she was able to make, and also how versatile she was because she's using so many different traditional medium and she is so good at them, like acrylic, gouache, watercolor, ink, whatever. She's so good at it. And she's also using digital art. And she's super good at it too. So this impressed me a lot already. And then after a few months after discovering her for the first time, I looked her up on the internet to see some other projects she worked on in the past because I grew really interested in what she was doing as an artist. And that's when I saw that she actually used to make comics and manga, and she even won prizes for it. And it surprised me so much because up until then, I was under the assumption that if people were to make comic, they would dedicate their whole life to it and they wouldn't stop. And the fact that she was able to dedicate a big chunk of her younger years to making comics but decided to stop afterwards and she's still thriving as an artist made me realize that it is actually possible to make comics because you enjoy it. And you might just make it for a short time and it's fine. You don't have to dedicate your whole life to making this, and you can just work on other project you enjoy once you're done making this. So this really gave me the motivational push that I needed. And now I'm real excited to start working on some comic project. By the way, when I say comic, I personally gravitate more towards standalone stories, so like one shots or maybe bigger, like a graphic novel, perhaps. Because although I can enjoy reading longer stories that come in multiple volumes, I don't think this is the type of creation that I would enjoy making myself. And it's fine. Okay, now I want to talk about three work that have inspired me and motivated me a lot this past few months. So the first work, I'm pretty sure I already mentioned it in a previous video. It's a short animated film named Paparia, made by Shingo Tamagawa. It is such a cool project. It is also so impressive because it was all animated by hand and with traditional medium. It wasn't done digitally. It was done traditionally, everything, and it is so cool. The result is so impressive. The fact that the creator went out of his way to make it by himself for multiple years using traditional medium when nowadays most animation are made using digital ones is so impressive. I love how he had a specific vision for this project and he just went with it, dedicated so much time for it, and he just released it once he was done. The second work that I want to talk about is a video game. It is called 100 Line Last Defense Academy, and it was made with Kodaka and Ishikoshi, who you might know for their work on the Danganronpa series and the Zero Escape series that are both video games, though Danganronpa got an anime and a manga adaptation. And there are a lot of things that I love about this game, but the thing that stuck with me the most is once again the dedication that the whole team had, and how they stuck with their very specific vision for the game, because this game has 100 different endings. Isn't that awesome? 100 different endings. That is so cool. And honestly, I could understand if some people were to not like the game because I guess it's not to everyone's taste, but I feel like you still have to appreciate the dedication that was put behind this game and all the time and effort that everyone spent on it. Also, I would highly recommend you to watch two documentaries that were made by a really cool YouTube channel where they're basically interviewing the creators, and where you can get more insight ask for their thought, what went into the project, what was at stake for them, and their feeling about it. I'm gonna link them in the description. I think they're really worth watching. And then the third work that has been inspiring me a lot is actually a one shot. Once again, quite popular, so you might have heard of it. It's called Look Back, and it was made by Tatsuki Fujimoto. So Tatsuki Fujimoto is also quite well known because he's the author of Chainsaw Man and also Fire Punch. So in the story, we follow a young girl named Fujino, and without spoiling you anything, she's just really into making comics, and we follow her journey as she's following her dream and trying to get better at her craft. And seeing her throughout the whole story trying to improve so much gave me a lot of motivation, and I felt like I wanted to do the same as her. Aside from the story, I really felt like I was learning so much just by looking at his paneling style and the composition, the frames, and all of that. So I actually got a physical copy just so that I could take notes in it and get it as a reference for when I'm making comic myself. I feel like this is the type of composition that I would enjoy recreating as well. Um, yeah, so that's all I had to say, and that's it for today's video. I would love to hear your thought on, first of all, on the single page comic that I made. If you have any thought on it, I'd love to hear it. And then on comic making in general, maybe, or anything else, really. Let me know in the comments. No, it's fine if you have nothing to say either, because I know I'm not one who usually comments under videos. But I had a lot of fun making the comic and talking about all of this. So I'm really looking forward to doing more of this type of video, working on comics and talking about stuff. I don't know what yet. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.